Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Teeing Off with Revsportz. I am Gargi Raut, and joining me today for this conversation is G. Rajaraman, Ishan Shahane, and S. Kanan. We have lots to talk about today, starting with, of course, India's loss to England in the first Test match and the Australian Open, of course. So let's get to it. First off, over to you, Raja. You've been following this match. Where do you think India went wrong?
I think they started off on the wrong foot by picking the wrong 11. From day one, I've been maintaining that Kuldeep Yadav should have been playing this game on a track where there was not much pace for the spinners. Both Jadeja and Akshar Patel were rendered less effective than usually. So I would have loved to see Kuldeep. But more than that, I think the batters have to own up responsibility. Of course, talking about the spinners, from 163 for 5 in the second inning to 420. That's a hell of a lot of runs. And I think that played on the minds of the batters, and they seemed to crumble under pressure in that fourth inning. 230 plus always going to be a challenge, but India had the batters to face that challenge and win the test match. I think overall it was a disappointing performance from India, both from the bowling side, but more from the batters.
And Kanan, do you think if India continues to perform this way, questions will be asked of Rohit Sharma's captaincy? And, all in all, what did you think of Rohit Sharma's captaincy throughout the test match?
I think firstly, we don't expect that this Indian team is going to perform like this. You know, what happened in Hyderabad, I don't want to see in Visakhapatnam. Again, one loss, it's so easy to attack Rohit Sharma, We were singing peens about Rohit Sharma during the ICC World Cup before we lost the final. Then again, if you go back just very recently to the series in South Africa, the way it was a very short series, not even a complete series, 2 matches, and we bounced back. Yeah, questions will be asked more than the captaincy. I am a bit surprised with the batting approach of Rohit. I don't know where is the urgency to go for the shots. You're trying to score 4 boundaries and score a 20-30. You are the captain, you dig yourself in. Try and go in for 100. If not 100, at least a 50 or a 70. I think that makes sense. More so knowing that you do not have the services of Virat Kohli, your former captain. So I think we are relying on Shubman Gill, he's flopping. Shreyas Iyer is flopping. And suddenly all of from out of the blue, we're talking about can Rishabh Pant come back, be there as a pure batter. So this is all pretty much knee-jerk reaction. This is a collective failure. If you're going to blame Rohit Sharma, you can blame Rahul Dravid also. And you're playing a team sport, you can blame everyone. And it's a massive, colossal failure. It's a total failure. You're playing at home. And you're playing against a side which has no quality spinners. You're not dealing with bowlers like Moeen Ali. You're dealing with someone like Joe Root in the first innings. He gets 5 wickets. And then Hartley comes and takes second wicket, 7 wickets. And then, blessings from Pope, that kind of knock which he played. Amazing knock. So that is application. So all that was not to be seen. You got in KL Rahul as a specialist batter. And so many things have been done. But main thing, I think there's a certain amount of confusion between the 11 we pick. Rajaram talked about the combination. We are still confused whether we are going to use the same players for T20, ODI, Test cricket. We've done away with Pujara, we've done away with Rahane. So this is what leaves me a bit baffled as a cricket fan.
Yes, and Ishan, do you think India was outplayed? Was it a case of being outplayed, or did India not play up to their potential? What was the case? What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah. So I think to be fair, Gagi, I don't think they were outplayed because in the first 2 days they were dominating. If they were outplayed, I think they would have been outplayed from the very start. I think by the end of the third day or coming to the fourth day, I think they just took it very casually. There was very less intent that was seen. And on the other hand, if you saw the England side, they were full of intent. They were running those ones and making those ones into twos. And you could see that they're really trying to, put up a good fight on board. The Indians, on the other hand, struggled. I felt they gave away too many runs also. Pope played a great knock, but I think, there could have been an opportunity to restrict him earlier. There were 2 dropped catches. So all these points come together, which would result into one thing, which is lack of intent and a lack of direction of what has to be done. So due to these reasons, the batting lineup also, I think they faced a lot of pressure because chasing a total which is about 200 on on a 4-day track is, it's extremely difficult. So that pressure was built up, and then careless batting, Shubman Gill not
No, but was it
performing
the
once
track?
again,
What
and
was
then
wrong with the track? I didn't find anything wrong with the track. What was wrong with the track? Tell me that. Was it the track or
uh,
was it in the mind that you are fearing the track?
I think
Come on, tell
it's
me.
I think it goes both ways because like there was some poor batting, but at
No,
times
but
there
you
was
talked
a
about the track. What is wrong with the
yeah.
track? I want to know.
I think the odd one that occasionally bounces, or the one that really spun. So I think in
Are
that
we
sense,
not
I think
supposed
that
to be
was
the masters of playing spin? Come on, tell me that. I mean, are
Yeah.
Indians not supposed to be specialists in playing spin? I mean, we've grown up not playing fast bowlers. We've grown up playing
yeah.
spinners at all levels. Even in T20, we've seen spinners there. But so I think to say that there's something wrong with the pitch, I disagree. I think it's lack of application, lack of
Uh,
intent. I would
Nothing wrong
like
with the
to.
pitch. It just got a little more difficult to bat on a fourth day wicket, is what I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to make here.
I think I'll ask Rajaram to step in if there was something wrong because Hyderabad is his hometown, Though this is not the main city, but if there's anything wrong with the pitch or it's all in the mind that you don't know how to play the bowling.
I think it was more about pressure. It was more about handling pressure. The devil was in the mind of the batters. Plus, I have to disagree slightly with Kannan. Indians were past masters of playing spin in the past, not anymore. You don't get to see quality spin bowling in Ranji Trophy. I don't think Yashasvi Jaiswal or a Shubman Gill has played as much quality spin bowling as, let's say, a Sunil Gavaskar or a Gundappa Vishwanath or even a Virat Kohli, right? So it's a myth that Indians play spin bowling well. Look at history from John Bracewell now to English spinners. They have dominated. They have won matches for visiting teams in India. I think it is a myth that we sometimes perpetrate that Indians play spin really well. Yes, they can play better than many other batters from many other countries, but I think the younger generation need to spend a lot more time understanding. The batters need to spend a lot more time understanding the art of batting against spin bowlers. I think it was in the mind today. You look at how Yashasvi Jaiswal opened the innings. Look at the contrast that happened between his first innings approach and the second innings approach. The first innings he batted like there was going to be no tomorrow, a strike rate of 100. The second innings he dropped to 42. I think that tells you of the quality of the attack that England came up with, but more than that, about how the Indians were probably not ready to face a target of 230 plus.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Right.
that's a great point. If that is the case, then I think I really wonder what is going to be the strategy, because there's a lot of chatter going around on social media platforms. What is the instruction going to be passed to the curator for the second test match? So it's really going to be interesting. If you're going to make it more spin oriented, is it going to boomerang on us as it happened in Hyderabad, or what are you going to do? I think we have to look forward. We've dissected whatever has happened in this first test, but I think way forward is what really needs to be discussed because it's a long series, no doubt. Losing one match does not mean you can bounce back. But I would like to see what happens in the second test, what kind of pitch they prepare.
Yeah. And those were our thoughts on India's loss. But what did the fans think of India's performance who had gone to watch the test match in the Hyderabad heat? Take a look.
Missing Virat Kohli.
Missing Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli.
What,
Only the X factor mixing.
but what according to you is the main reason for the loss?
Missing of Virat Kohli.
Missing of Virat Kohli.
Fully disappointed. We were quite hopeful, and we didn't hope that India would lose this badly.
Obviously chasing 230, 231 to win and then to...
And when we had almost 1.5 days to defend ourselves and just, chase a very easy target. I think it was a little tricky target, but India was nowhere there.
To be frankly speaking, we thought that it's easy going match for India, but by hands, they have given up the match to the opponents England. That's what I can say. Because when the first innings, the way we put up and what somewhere around like 190 runs lead, which we have took, and then again they put up the show and they gave us a lead somewhere around 230 and the target they given us like 231. I thought that we could win the match I mean, the first innings, the kind of play what we have done and what we have shown, I thought we would be winning the match very easily. But I didn't expect it. I was very disappointed. That's the reason I left in between.
Oh, ma'am, you also very disappointed with the
Yeah,
results?
yeah, absolutely.
And did India miss Virat Kohli? Means obviously
200%. Sorry, if there is no endpoint for the numbers, infinity or n number of something like what we said in number system, -2 plus infinity 0, absolutely India has missed Virat Kohli. If he has been there, obviously, even though if the wickets have been fallen like somewhere now 123 for 7 or something like that, if Virat Kohli is there in the crease, I can say damn sure we would be winning the match.
At Revsportz, we're dedicated to covering sports in the truest sense, which means also shining a light on not only what happens on the field, but also off the field. Ishan has been doing a special show where he talks to the legends of sports and legends of the game and gets insights into everything that goes on behind the scenes. Ishan, why don't you tell us about your experience of talking to all these incredible sports persons and what has been the biggest highlight, of what goes on behind the scenes into making the now future legends?
Yes, so it's called Beyond the Boundary, and Gagi, so all of these athletes are former Indian players, and we'll be incorporating athletes from different sports as well. So basically, the basis of this show is to inspire an audience, and these athletes have obviously had a lot of experience. They've played for India, and we're getting credit people on board who want to share the experiences. So I think it's extremely fruitful that these people come on board, because there's a lot of inspiration that a young individual who wants to play a sport can take, or a young cricketer who wants to play for India can take. So having that inspiration is extremely valuable. And besides that, it's always good to have some sort of advice coming your way, whether it's it can be positive. It's at times someone can also retrospect and understand how this form of advice might benefit them. So overall, I think it's a great way to send out a good message, and that's what we're trying to do. I've had some very exciting interactions. I spoke to Zubin last time around. So he's been a mentor to Jaiswal, Riyan Parag. So this is the future of Indian cricket. And we spoke about mentorship, how it's important to mentor these young kids in the right direction, because with so much happening at the moment, a youngster can get carried away with the limelight. That's one aspect of it. And besides that, obviously with the sport. So I think it's a great initiative, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yes, and here's a small sneak peek into the interview with Zubin Bharocha that Ishan just now talked about. The full interview will be on Revsportz at 5 p.m. But for now, take a look at this bite.
About your journey, I know it's difficult to sum it up in a couple of minutes, but just a quick recap of your journey into cricket and Bombay cricket.
Yeah, super exciting. Started as a 14-year-old, which was quite late to cricket, but pretty much took it up straight away because I had a background in squash and rugby and football and volleyball, and pretty much played every single sport. So cricket came very naturally to me. And pretty much I took it up when I was 14, and then I played for Bombay under 15 the same year.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously got straight into the system, did well at under 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I played, in those days we didn't have an India side. So basically it was this national camp with 15 or 20 of the best boys in India.
Yes.
And I pretty much went to almost every national camp for 5 years. And then eventually got picked for Bombay a bit later than I felt I should have played, but that's life. And I played, played for Bombay for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then I decided to, leave cricket and go to my masters and things like that. But my sort of satisfaction with what I did in the game was basically I managed to get a Irani trophy and Ranji trophy debut 100.
Absolutely.
Over to tennis now. The Australian Open this year has been an incredible display of skills, with Arna Sabalenka, Jannik Sinner and the rest coming out victorious in their respective categories. Take a look at all the thrilling wins and a reaction from Rohan Bop himself on his historic win.
At the Australia Open 2024, we witnessed incredible moments of triumph and history-making performances. In a stunning turn of events on Sunday, Italy's 22-year-old Jannik Sinner displayed sheer determination and resilience, pulling off a sensational come-from-behind victory against Daniil Medvedev. Sinner's victory, reminiscent of Rafael Nadal's 2022 feat, marked his maiden Grand Slam title, making him the youngest player to clinch the Australian Open men's singles trophy since Novak Djokovic in 2008. Sinner's triumph also etched his name in history as the first male Italian tennis player to win a major since 1976. On the women's side, 25-year-old Belarusian Arina Sabalenka defended her Australian Open title with an impressive straight-set victory. Sabalenka's dominance throughout the tournament was showcased by her powerful and poised play, securing her second Grand Slam title and becoming the first woman to defend the Australian Open title since 2013. The mixed doubles category witnessed a nail-biting match as the Taiwanese Polish duo Xie Siwei and Jan Zielinski claimed the title on Friday. Xie's victory marked her first mixed doubles Grand Slam title, adding to her impressive career that includes 6 major women's doubles trophies. The pair secured their triumph in a thrilling match tiebreaker against the American duo. And in the men's doubles, history was made by the Indo-Aussie pair of Rohan Bop and Matthew Ebden. Bopanna, at 43 years and 329 days, became the oldest man to ever win a Grand Slam title in the Open era. Their victory added Bopanna's name to the elite list of Indians who have triumphed at the Australian Open. Here's Bopanna himself on what it was like to etch his name in the history books.
Hey everyone, totally amazing, winning my first men's doubles Grand Slam and this Asia Pacific, and no other better person than Matt Ebden to be by my side, to have won this men's doubles Grand Slam. To all the people who have showed so much of love and support, I mean, this victory is definitely yours as much as mine. So really thank you from the bottom of my heart with all the support and love you have showed me for years. And last thing, never have any limitations. Keep believing in yourselves, because you never know when life can change and make it absolutely magical. Thank you guys. Love you all.
Kanan, we witnessed history, but something that will stay close to our hearts will, of course, be Rohan Bopanna becoming world number one. Talk about that.
I think we've seen, history on 3 fronts. First is Rohan Bop becoming world number one is very big. I think we've had 3 world number ones in doubles before. This individual doubles ranking, that is I'm talking about. We've had Leander Paes as world number one. We've had Mahesh as number one. And in between, Sania was also number one. But at age 43, going to be 44, what he calls as level 43, to be number one, that was the prelude to winning the title. And it has taken him so long, 21 years of active tennis. And we all look at Rohan as a doubles player. I have seen him from, sorry, I'm not being pompous, I saw him first in 1997 when he was a young boy. He played on grass, very, very strong serve. It was just because of combination of injuries. We are talking now about his knee problem, how he's managing. He's got probably no cartilage in both the knees. So he's got to manage with physios, training, strength, plus what is called yoga. He follows the Iyengar yoga, which is very, very famous and basically more about flexibility, and which has enabled him to play and come this far and strike a patch with Matt Ebden. So I think historic that after having missed out on winning a men's doubles Grand Slam title, an Australian pair winning. So it's truly historic at 43, and it just goes to show that he's still there. When he retired from Davis Cup last year, within a few days he was boarding the flight. Raj and I were lucky to watch him in Hangzhou during the Asian Games, and we saw how he's a leader. It's not just that he's playing for himself. And even now, if you go through the reactions from Boris Becker to Novak Djokovic, I mean, you see Billie Jean King. Doubles is a dying art in tennis. Very few people playing doubles, and the same Australian Open, when Leander and Mahesh were there, they lost a final. It used to be best of 5 sets. Now it's down to best of 3 sets, super tie break. So it's getting very tough. So this is one history which is Rohan's made, and I think he's going to be remembered for a very long time because it's the same venue where he and Sania lost the mixed doubles final last year. Coming to Arena Sabalenka, again history because after Serena Williams in 2016-17, no woman's won back-to-back women's title, and the way she was asserting herself was fabulous. And of course, an Italian winning the Australian Open, very rare. You would think an Italian would win a title on clay, but Yannick Sinner beating Medvedev is huge, huge for the simple reason that 22-year-old kid, and here's
Yeah.
Medvedev. He just won one Grand Slam and failing twice in major, at the last step. 22, he lost to Rafael Nadal, and today, like this. When you win two sets and you're up and then you lose a five-setter, it's heartbreaking. I think you don't know what to do. And this is where Yannick Sinner's strength, mental, physical, and I was reading about his, you know, time spent in the gym. Some of the videos are just mind blowing. He's not just doing strength, core, resistance, he's doing everything short steps, slides. And if you look at the bodies of these two, I mean, if you look at their appearance, old days,
Yeah.
Dennis Lilly would measure fat with vernier calipers, even to the centimeter, there should be no fat. So these guys have no fat, it's all just lean, trim, and ready to go in that heat of Melbourne. Fine, you're playing at 6:30 p.m., but it gets very muggy with the crowd in. So that's why it's been standout and start of the year when you see a new champion born. You're not talking about Carlos Alcaraz. To beat Djokovic and to beat Medvedev, it's a very, very big deal. That's what I feel.
Raja, how incredible has Rohan Bopanna been? Talk about that.
I think for him to win a men's doubles Grand Slam title at age 43, the first of his Grand Slam titles in men's doubles, he played final before. I think it's incredible because more than the title, it's how he plays his tennis and how he conducts himself. I think he's a fantastic ambassador for his sport, a fantastic ambassador for the country. Just have to listen to what he spoke at the end of the tournament when he was just before he was given away the trophy. He made a very beautiful speech straight from the heart, and that tells you what kind of a personality Rohan Bopanna is. Now, I've always been wondering why someone like a Lakshya Sen would not pick up the phone, a badminton star, Lakshya Sen, pick up the phone and speak to Rohan Bopanna. Uh, he's incredibly good with tactics. I saw him do something really special in the Asian Games. He swapped courts with in the mixed doubles final when it looked like the Indians were going to lose, and then lo and behold, magic happened. Now Rohan is a chess player in disguise. He's a chess player on the tennis court. He can be used much better by the Indian tennis authorities and by Indian sports authorities. I think he's ready to give. I just have to ask. I think this is what sets him apart from many other champions I know. All of them are willing to share what they know, but Rohan is probably a step ahead of everyone else.
A chess player on the tennis court. That's quite an interesting way to describe Rohan Bopanna. But it's time for us to take our leave right now. We'll be here every morning at 9 a.m. So tune in tomorrow morning as well. Have a good day ahead and stay tuned to Revsportz.